Mom sold the apartment she promised me in order to buy a car for her husband. Recently I received a great life lesson for what I should say thank you, but I don't want to. I realized that in this life I can trust myself and only myself. Even the closest people, even the mother, can betray. Of course, she does not consider her act a betrayal, no matter who argues, but in my eyes this is exactly betrayal. She sold the apartment that was promised to me. This apartment belonged to my grandmother. She always said that she would leave the apartment to me, but she did not formalize anything officially. And why, if she had no one else besides her daughter and granddaughter? Her daughter, that is, my mother always said that she should not sell these apartments, so grandma cannot worry. I will definitely get an apartment, but when my grandmother died, my mother inherited, explaining that I was still too young and it would take longer to process the documents. When you grow up then we'll re-register everything, there's no hurry anyway. I believed my mother unconditionally, because who else can I believe if not my mother, and I didn't think about any apartments then. I was about 14 years old. My mother did not pay for this apartment, she immediately let the tenants in there to have at least some kind of inheritance, and this did not bother me either because of my youth. But when I graduated from high school, I already wanted to move to the apartment where I would be the rightful owner. Mom shook her head negatively and said that it was too early for me to live alone. Besides, you have to pay for the apartment, and I don't have money. She's not a millionaire to pay for everything either. I had to agree with the reasonableness of the arguments, and since there is no apartment, I went to enroll in another city, where they gave me a dorm. And I lived a fun, student life. Mom didn't miss me either. As soon as I moved out from her, she immediately started an affair with some man. So I didn't mind, but I didn't really like the man himself. But my mother didn't care about my opinion. When I said that her man looked like Alphonse, my mother boiled up and shouted that it was none of my business. She had already put half her life on my well-being, and now she can live with anyone. Having recognized her rightness, I no longer started talking about my mother's husband. Mom also avoided this topic, even I found out by accident that they signed. I was not invited to the celebration, but these are all small things. I finished my studies and was going to return to my hometown, which I informed my mother about. I asked her to warn the tenants to move out. Mom was surprised about which tenants I was talking about, and when I clarified that about the tenants who now live in my apartment, Mom replied in an icy tone that this apartment had never been mine and in general I sold it. We needed money to buy a car. So solve the housing issue. Mom finished the conversation. It was a blow, so a blow. You lie for yourself. You think that everything is fine with you. There is a roof over your head, but it turned out that there is not. This roof has already been sold. Trust in my mother collapsed at one point, but what kind of trust can we talk about when I was simply confronted with the fact that I am now a homeless person? Although I am not such a bum, I have a share in my mother's apartment. It is privatized for the two of us, and I will demand this share. I will not live there, but let them give me money or sell it to some unassuming people for registration. Am I acting meanly? No. I answer in the same coin. I really want to look at the face of my mother and her husband when they find out that everything is not as rosy as they want.